Hi, Mariah here. I thought I'd take you through my earliest top 5 books of how I started reading, where I started, and this is basically a series of where I started and where I ended up, from old classics to dystopian stories. So if that's your cup of tea, follow along in these shorts. Now, the first book that I'd have to start off with, which might seem a bit out there for some, is To Kill a Mockingbird, which may seem a little odd for a newborn to be read to, but was my biological father's favorite book. And he would read it to me when he was alive. And I kept reading it after he died when I was 8. And to me, it is a comfort book. Most people would say it is not the most ideal book to read to someone not in high school, but to me, it was a comfort book because it brought to life how even Scout, even though she was young, could see the injustice in the world taking place. And if someone during that time period could see the injustice going on, then someone in my position, growing up in the hospital, would see it too. So, because this was my biological father's favorite book, it became one of my childhood favorite books. I still read it nowadays. Maybe not as often as I did as a kid, but it's still one of my favorites from my childhood. Now, Velveteen Rabbit was, besides To Kill a Mockingbird, this was a favorite that, according to my mom, would calm me down whenever I had teething problems or I couldn't sleep. She said she would put the cassette in and I'd fall asleep to it instantly. That I could not sleep without this. And in a way, she was kind of right. That's where I get my love for reading. Even though she can't read without falling asleep, I love reading. And this book and a few others were where my passion for reading came from, which in turn led to my passion for writing. But This one, it is, it is one of my favorites. I don't know why. It is just one of the comfort books that I could read over and over and still get surprised reading it. Now, Rikki-Tikki-Tavi is one of those stories that most people wouldn't think to read. Most people, if they even think about it, they think of the movie version. But I know my taste and my family's taste in books are ambiguous. Because my grandparents had a hand in raising me. And some of my taste in the older classics were my grandparents doing. And this one here is one of those. This one here is one of the reasons I love some of the older classics. Rikki-Tikki-Tavi. Yes, it may seem a little out there because it is 1894. But it is one of my favorites. Now, this one and the next one are one of mine and my mom's favorites that her and I would listen to on repeat on first cassette and then CD and now audiobooks. This one, A Little Princess. According to the Wicca page, it was first published in 1888 as a novella and then turned into a play in 1902 and then turned into a children's novel in 1905. I've always had the fascination with this story. How a young girl who is thrown into an all-girls boarding school has everything ripped from her and is thrown into despair, but never loses her good nature. But then, through simple acts of kindness and generosity, gains back practically what she lost. So you tell me whether that's sheer determination or just fate correcting mistakes. Now, this last one. The Secret Garden is by the same person that wrote A Little Princess. Most people would know it by the movie versions. And I know it by the movie versions too, but I also love the children's versions. I grew up with a sense of if you don't grow your mind, you don't get to see the world even when you're stuck in bed. Yes, TV would be easier to see the world, but to grow your mind like Mary does with the garden, you don't get to see the true depth of the cultivation. And that's what Mary taught me reading The Secret Garden. Because Mary goes from a neglected and unloved 10-year-old to someone who can stand on her own 2 feet and discovers love and become someone who can give love freely without expecting anything in return. And that's what The Secret Garden taught me. So I hope you enjoyed following me along on the journey of discovering my first foray into books from the Secret Garden to Kill a Mockingbird, from books from the late 1800s to 1960. And I hope you enjoyed, and catch you on the flip side at Oak Press. Have a wonderful day.